Hello everyone, welcome here. Today we have a very interesting little bit of firearmage sitting here up on the desk. And I am going to tear this thing apart and talk all about what makes it cool, which is actually quite a lot of little things. For starters, here we have a loading gate, which currently cannot be opened because the bolt is closed. I suspect. Yes, it is. There we go. So, non-reciprocating charging handle, just spring-loaded forward. Not particularly comfortable charging handle either, but that's fine because it's intended to only be used very rarely. Simple safety here in the tang. See right there. And interestingly, if we push down on the loading gate, the safety pops out. And yeah, then we have a loading gate that I can find an angle where you can see it, pointing straight into the chamber. Got a 22 dummy round here. Okay, dummy round. Damn it. Thing's a bit awkward. It's a little too large to really fit in this desk very well. But anyway, just show it right on in there. And the charging handle has a extractor that we will see in more detail later. So you push the charging handle back a little bit, it ejects the round, which falls out the bottom. Anyway, that's about the extent of what we can see from the outside, except if you push the safety off, and then chunk, the bolt closes. But anyway. So, go ahead and take the stock off so I don't have to manhandle this giant thing around. Should be fairly easy to do. A new pew pew, indeed. New to me anyway. It is actually a rather old pew pew considering that these were last made in the early 60s. If I remember correctly. Anyway. The stock screw has knurling around the outside edge, so once you get it most of the way out, you can just take it out the rest of the way very easily by hand. Nice little touch. And the action just pops right out. Single screw. And is a little bit more manageable, although the barrel is like a 20-inch barrel. I think I measured it, like 21 inches or something actually. Let's see, let's just measure it again, why don't we? So the back of the chamber is like right here. I'm sure there's someone yelling somewhere about my barrel crown or something, but I can't hear them, so. And it looks like it's right about 21.5-inch barrel. But yeah, there's the action. Trigger looks kind of like a, what do you gonna call it? Ye olde rifle trigger. Big old long vertical bar. The spring plunger here is detent for the safety. Kind of see it pop in and out there. It's kind of hard to manipulate the safety when the action's out because it's hard to get a good purchase on it. But that's what that spring detent is. And then the spring detent is also where the spring loading for the safety were off there. Where the spring loading for the trigger comes from. Anyway. The rough estimate on barrel? Well, yeah, of course. It's not worth my time to try to get an exact number. But anyway, that's about all we can see from the outside. You can see a little bit more of the charging handle, but not much more you could see from when the stock was on. You can see how the charging handle interacts with the bolt face. It literally just pushes against it. Or you could see if I could find an angle where you could, yeah, let's see. Yeah, you can kind of, almost damn camera. Is going to be flashlight hour for sure. Hold it back as far as I can without my hand in the way. And where's a good angle? There, that's too bright now. That's way too bright. Okay, that's a little better. It's hard to point at it and hold the light and everything else at the same time, but you can see the end of the charging handle there pushing against the bolt face. We'll see that in a little more detail when I take it apart, because that is the next step. Step one is to remove the barrel from the receiver, which we are going to do through the simple expedient of beating on it with a punch. There's a pin that's right here that just gently tap it out. Not particularly tight or anything, but it's tight enough that it doesn't just fall apart or anything. And then you can just pull it out. You can see that the pin just goes into a notch right here. And there we have a much better view of the charging handle. And if you look real close, it's kind of fuzzy because the camera doesn't focus that close very well. You can see the extractor claw right there that's on the charging handle. The camera really does not like that distance, but anyway. So we feed in a dummy round. Get a much better idea of how that works. That extractor claw is only used for, as far as I can tell, manually ejecting rounds, unfired or whatever, or misfired rounds. So that's the barrel. To actually remove the charging handle, I think there's a roll pin right in there we'd have to punch out. No real point to doing that, so we won't. And we'll just set that barrel right over there beside the stock. All right. And here we have the receiver. Now, see if we can get some light down in there without being too bright. Can I... Here, let's just push this down a little bit with a punch. So you can see if I can get some light in from the side, kind of. Maybe a little bit. You can kind of almost make out the firing pin. Or remove the bolt in a second, and you'll be able to see it much better. Actually, that light doesn't really help at all. Anyway, let's go ahead and remove the bolt. So the bolt, step one to removing it is to remove the loading gate, which is a little piece of bakelite right here. And step one to remove the loading gate is to get an appropriately sized punch and punch out a roll pin here, which I have conveniently left mostly punched out already. Because past me just spent a couple hours stripping this thing down so that I can have it nice and clean for this procedure. Anyway, with that roll pin removed, which, by the way, I hate roll pins. I should lock the bolt back. That'll make it easier to do the next part. Do that with a punch. And this gets pushed down a little bit and comes out the top. And there's the loading gate. A little piece of bakelite. So this bit that extends down right there is the lever. When the loading gate's pushed down, that pushes against here, we'll use this as a pointer. Pushes against right in there. You can just, this is the wrong color to use as a pointer. I have something silvery. We use an X-Acto knife. Right there at the tip of the X-Acto knife, you can kind of see a little circular piece right there. That's the end of the guide rod for the mainspring. And then that guide rod, get a punch in there so I can push against the end of the guide rod. So I can do this in a way where I can figure out what I'm doing first. There we go. You can maybe see a little tiny change in brightness there as a little silvery piece protrudes in the back. Anyway, the guide rod has this extra spring on it. And what that does is it runs back to the safety. So if that guide rod is pushed back far enough, like say if you had pushed down the lever, it pops the safety out. And push the safety in, do the same thing again. Just junk. So that's how the loading gate activates the safety. Even though they're at opposite ends of the receiver, it literally uses the guide rod for the mainspring. Okay, speaking of said spring, let's go ahead and remove the bolt. So to remove the bolt, we'll just make sure the safety is on, or off, I mean. Pull the trigger a little bit, and get that bolt out of there. Here we have the bolt, the mainspring. Not a very large spring, all things considered. I thought it'd be much larger than that, but nope. And there's the bolt, and a bit of detail right there. You can see the fixed firing pin. Got a channel on the top here for the loading gate to ride in. And then it's got a hole down the middle where that guide rod rides. Speaking of the guide rod, here it is. So the mainspring goes in the guide rod like that. The guide rod's got a notch cut out of this washer here on the end of it, both to facilitate disassembling the guide rod and also because that notch clears the trigger mechanism when it slides down into the receiver. And the guide rod has this spring mechanism on it. It doesn't really have a whole lot of travel, but it's got a little bit. And the purpose of that is to spring load the loading gate. Because the loading gate pushes against the guide rod like that. So when you push the loading gate down, it pushes the guide rod back. And that pushes this. And this little tail on the guide rod is what activates the safety. So technically, if you wanted to make one of these that didn't turn the safety on every time you push down on the loading gate, you could just trim the tail of this off and or trim a little bit off the safety in order to make it so that it doesn't activate it. Anyway. And that's about all we can see here without actually taking the trigger apart, which I am not going to do because it is a royal pain in the butt to restack and get it all pushed in there and held while you get the pin through all the holes. But anyway, there's a couple pieces stacked in here. There's the main bar, which engages with the sear surface on the bolt, which interestingly, I think they did this because it was cheaper to do it this way. But the sear engagement surface is this ring right here, basically. The reason why it goes all the way around, I'm pretty sure, is because they could just do it while they had it in the lathe by just cutting a shoulder there instead of having to do a milling operation. Because it looks like they probably turned the outside, bored it out, almost, but not quite all the way to the end, and then just made a few cuts, cut a slot. Actually, they probably only bored it out part way, like into here somewhere, and then made the rest with an end mill, cutting the slot, because the end of the slot is, well, I'm pretty sure they used a ball end mill and just cut to there and stopped. And then just chop the top of this off, make it flat at a slightly lower level. Cut a couple of little dinguses in here, and then whatever they did to make a round firing pin. Not very many machine operations, really. And the guide rod goes into the bolt like that. So you can see how this sits when the bolt is all the way back. Then when you push this down, you can kind of see how it push the, well, it sits higher, but anyway. You can see I'd push the guide rod back. Doesn't have to go back very far at all to pop the safety out. Part that really surprised me is how small the recoil spring is. I mean, the recoil spring, all it has to do is propel the bolt forward. And part of, I'm not sure how much this weighs compared to how much the hitchhiker bolt weighs. I should go grab one of the hitchhikers. I think I will later. I will compare the bolts. The hitchhiker bolt's not that large, but it's definitely larger than this is. But supposedly, these will cycle 22 shorts. Because it actually says on the barrel, 22 long rifle, long and short. Go ahead and grab that barrel. Yeah, Model 55. Probably can't read it because the crappy camera. Well, maybe you can, barely. It says 22 S, L, or LR. Winchester trademark, made in USA. It's pretty small here. It doesn't have a serial number on it anywhere because it was made before those were required on, well, anything for that matter. But anyway. Yeah, pretty simple little device. I'm guessing, as far as the receiver goes, aside from the outer shape, I just bore it out and cut a couple slots back here with end mills and cut out these two shapes. I don't know if you would do that in one setup or if you would do two. Like if you'd reach down and cut out the bottom part at the same time as you cut out the top. Maybe. You might be able to do this whole thing in two setups. Aside from the boring and stuff. And I'm not sure how they would form this curve, but I'm sure that's a well-established thing by this point. Anyway, then to reassemble, the notch in the guide rod washer thingy there goes up, or down rather. It faces toward the trigger. And then, sadly I can't really show you guys this, but it's easiest if I look down in there and wiggle and twist until it pops into place. There we go. I think that's right. Looks about right. Health shot in the rocket launcher is 8 per damage. I'm guessing the sniper is the same, so it's kind of weak. Well, it's stronger than it used to be. And you'll definitely be a lot stronger with if you get like a triple or something. But yeah, it's not going to be as powerful as it would on a fast-firing weapon. Anyway, put the spring on next. And then the bolt. Drop that in over top the spring. Get the bolt more or less lined up. The straighter it goes in, the better, because it's kind of a pain in the butt to get it straight later. And it has to be straight or you can't get the loading gate on. And we'll just take one of these punches. It helps if it stays straight, damn it. Also, stop pushing in that. Hold it nice and straight with one finger until, oh, come on. That's got to go in actually. Until there we go. Lock it back. Then the next step, we go ahead and get this roll pin started. Have I mentioned already that I hate roll pins? Yeah, because I hate roll pins. Walk it in a little bit and beat the hell out of the brass head on my hammer. Don't want to go too far because then it'll be in the way. And then we take the loading gate, drop that in the top, fight with it a little bit to get it to go where we want it to go. Goes like there. Don't let it go down too far. And then kind of get popped up because it does have to push back on that guide rod a little bit to get into place. And then take our punch, make sure it's nice and straight. Because I don't want to booger up the plastic. This is an original Bakelite one. And I don't want to screw that up. So, gotta be nice to it. There's a company that sells replacements made out of 3D printed plastic. And they want like $40 for them. It's not even good 3D printed plastic. It's obviously done on an FDM machine. So I guess if something ever happened to my Bakelite feed ramp, I would have to make myself a new one. Come on. Get in there. Ever mentioned that I hate roll pins? A little past center. Good enough for what it's for. Okay. So, yes, I can put it back together. Believe it or not. Pop the safety off. Push down the loading gate. Safety pops back on. Boom. Okay. Now, put the barrel back on. This part's relatively easy. Just line the little hole up with a little slot. I'm going to give it a bit of oil to help it go together better, easier. Okay. There we go. And we just visually line it up. Pop the pin back in. And the pin goes in under finger pressure. And I'll just tap with the hammer a little bit to get it perfectly centered, although that doesn't really matter. And there we go. 155 reassembled and ready to go back in the stock. Yeah, you can see how easy this thing would be to load. You just take the dummy around, put on top of the loading gate, push down, and just straight in. It's even easier to load than a hitchhiker. And to unload, you just pull the charging handle back, and the extractor that's on the charging handle pops around out. This thing would be like a perfect kid's gun or whatever. It's super easy to load. The safety turns on every single time you load it. And then you just pop the safety off and junk. Anyway, let's get back in the stock. Stock's pretty standard as far as such things go. Just go ahead and drop it right in. Get it all lined up. There we go. I mentioned when I took it apart that there's knurling on this screw, and indeed there is, so we can just start it by hand very easily. And then, fortunately, I don't have a screwdriver that's quite fat enough to fill that slot completely, but if we're careful, we won't bugger it up any more than it's already been buggered up. snug it up just right, and we're good to go. One fully reassembled Model 55. Would help if I turn the safety off. There. Got a little bit of open bolt slurp to it, where the gun goes ka-chunk forward slightly when the bolt is heading forward. But it's a lot less noticeable than on the Hitchhiker. Speaking of which, I said I was going to compare the bolt to the Hitchhiker bolt, and then I completely forgot about it. I'm going to go grab a Hitchhiker right now. BRB. I grabbed the first Hitchhiker I saw, which is the long hiker. The very long hiker. Anyway. Let's just take the barrel off. We don't need that for this anyway. Okay, Hitchhiker. A much, much simpler, but no less functional open bolt of its own. And if I want to get said bolt out, we just remove the stock. You had one of those guns back in the early 80s for coon hunting? Well, what'd you ever get rid of it for? Okay. What did I do with my... Somewhere around here, I should have a big hunkin' Allen key that's exactly the right size for this. Because it's the size you use for AR grip screws. Oh, there it is. Matter of fact, this is an AR grip screw, but... yeah, anyway. Go ahead and pull that bolt out. Alright, so I did stick it back in the gun, so we don't exactly have the bolt on hand, but take it from me, this bolt is a little bit heavier than the bolt that's in that gun. It's not actually that much different in size, though. The Hitchhiker bolt's pretty small. I'm willing to bet most of the weight difference would come in less milling. This bolt's actually probably a little smaller physically. Oh, I'm kind of tempted to take it back apart and get the bolt out again. Nah. Sounds too much like work. Anyway. The only thing that would really prevent you from having a similar style of loading gate on the Hitchhiker is the disconnector thingy here. Would be a little bit in the way, maybe. But I don't actually think that would be a problem. Because you can push that disconnector down without affecting operation of the trigger adversely. I think it'd probably be possible to do it even then. Or you could just design the loading gate to have a little slit in it to go around the disconnector. I don't know. Anyway, I rather like how that loading gate works because it's just really makes it a little bit, just that little bit easier to load. Drop the round on it and shove it in. Mm. Yeah, well, this definitely isn't a 1022. Much more interesting than a 1022. 1022s are boring. Okay. Go ahead and let the bolt ahead. Spring goes in. Stock goes on. And the pin goes in to hold the stock in place. And we have one reassembled hitchhiker action. Or we could take this pin out and take the bolt tube and the onion apart. This is the bolt tube. So named because it's a tube and it holds the bolt. And this is the onion, which, if I remember correctly, was originally called the front trunnion. And I don't remember how it got the name onion, spelled with two N's, not one. At some point during the beta. But anyway. But this isn't about the hitchhiker. So we'll just put this back together. And it can go sit off to the side and until the next time I want to shoot it. Anyway. This one is just altogether less convenient than the other hitchhikers. Some fool put a 27-inch barrel on it. And that is rather large. Pretty cool, though. Go ahead and lean that back there in the corner so it doesn't fall over. And this, you can go join it after a minute. I really do quite like this thing. It's basically everything that's cool about the hitchhiker, but in a polished production firearm instead of a slightly janky, cheap home-built one. Like, I love the hitchhiker. After all, I built 4 of them. And this is also cool in a different way. Anyway. Let's set that back here in the corner, and then let's put all these punches away. And then we'll go play some Fallout. Definitely, if I was going to, like, say, if I owned, oh, I don't know, some random gun company, and I was going to put a modern version of the Winchester 55 into production. Who knows why? It probably wouldn't sell well anymore. It probably wouldn't sell any better today than it sold back then, let's put it that way. People don't recognize cool things when they see them. Have I ever 3D printed a gun? I have 3D printed a bunch of guns. That hitchhiker's 3D printed. The other 3 hitchhikers I own are all 3D printed. I have a 3D printed 1022 with an AR fire control group. I have a 3D printed AR7. I have a couple 3D printed Glocks. such as, for example, this one. That's 3D printed. You can see some fool put their logo on it right there. Wonder who would do that. Anyway, chamber clear. There's a 3D printed Set Meow, or Amigo Verde as it's known, over there in the closet. Yeah, let's see, what else do I have around here that's 3D printed? A couple more things. Got more 3D printed guns at this point than non 3D printed guns, I think. Over in that direction, there is a rather large 3D printer that its primary purpose in life is to produce gun parts. It's probably produced more gun parts than anything else at this point. They don't really print that many things that aren't guns. But anyway. Oh, and I have parts sitting on my desk for another Glock and a half, so at some point I need to make another one of those. So yes, Soup Stalker, I do print occasionally a 3D gun. And if you stick around here for long enough, aka not actually all that very long, you would get to see quite a few of them. It's just that recently I have not been dragging too many of them out because I haven't made one for a little while. But anyway. But yeah, this thing, 3D printed. Here you can see a seam where multiple barrel segments were glued together with JB Weld. The barrel liner's fixed in place, since this is plastic. The barrel liner's fixed in place inside of this with more JB Weld. You can kind of maybe barely see the layer lines there, but this is all printed plastic. The only parts that aren't plastic are a couple pieces in the fire control group, the bolt, the spring, obviously, pins, and other hardware. But anyway, you gave in to bad influence. Didn't pick up one of those shiny toys, just Door Kickers 2. Door Kickers 2 is a lot of fun. And I will be playing more of it this weekend. So, not tomorrow, but the day after. Anyway. I have... Oh, where'd they go? There they are. I have a set of dagger rails here. There's a dagger frame out now, a printable one. So between this and my little Glock lore part kit, I think is in a drawer over there. I've got another set of Glock rails too somewhere. So one way or another, we're either going to have one, if not two, new Glock builds. Which Glocks are really trivial to print, but this one doesn't always close quite right. It can sometimes get failures to feed. I'm not entirely sure why, but it seems to do it a little less the longer I fire it. Like, it seems to do it less now than when it was brand new off the printer. So if I take it on enough range trips, it might start behaving more reliably. Needs to be worked over a little bit more. Oh, anyway. Let's go ahead and switch over to Fallout. Now, for the hardest part of every day. What should I use for a title? Need to break from stationeer struggles last evening and then realized it was time for work. Yeah, rip. Oh well. Oh, let's see. Let's go for a good old standby. After all, Twitch has provided instructions. Who am I to ignore them? And we'll pop over to Shrimp Cam for a second while I actually start the game. See if I can find it in the list here. Okay. I'm going to leave Shrimp Cam up for a second because I am going to go put the punches back on the shelf where they belong, and I'm going to grab myself a bottle of water. I will be right back. All right. Now, if I remember correctly, last time we left off in the middle of the Great Bend mission. We were parked here at a bit of a crossing, and we were about to go do terrible, terrible things to robots on the other side of said crossing. If I remember correctly, this is about where I ran out of 50 caliber ammo the first time I played through this game. Because back then, I was not very careful about preserving my ammo for when I would actually need it. And so I got to this point in the game and was unable to use my best robot killer against robots right about the time when I started seeing lots of robots. Which resulted in a great deal of excitement, shall we say. But anyway. Let's see. I can't use WASD to move the camera around because this is an old game. Yeah, it doesn't respect things like that. Alright. There's a human I bought there that we can see for some reason. And who knows what's through the rest of this area. Let's go ahead and start moving some of our big guns types up. We'll leave those idiots there for now. Okay. There he is. Well. Solves that problem rather quickly. And we've actually ran through all the ammunition we brought along for this mission for the 50 already. Okay. Now, unlike previous iterations of me playing this game, I did not bring along all of my 50 ammunition. I brought some. Oh, which means that despite being out of it, we are not actually out of it. And we do have several bursts left. Anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. I think the subjugator bot we're looking for is right in here. Anyway. So the real question is, when we had guys shooting across the road over here and we took out a bunch of lifter bots and stuff like that. Okay. That question's already answered itself. Just by looking at where the border walls and stuff are. I was going to say, are those lifter bots that were in this area? But they definitely are not. Which is unfortunate. Because I'm pretty sure that there are a couple lifters in this area. And they're going to be annoying. I guarantee it. Then again, maybe there weren't any here. Of course, now that I've said that, there's guaranteed to be a bunch of them. No, we just shot somebody. Oh, there he is. Load lifter. Run, Jax, run! Oh, shit. Run out of ammo. Okay, Alice, get your butt down here. All right. That'll take care of that. Getting more 50 is going to be somewhat problematic. I think the subjugator might have some on him, though. Okay, there's a bunch of load lifters here. Okay, lovely. Hopefully that's the last one. Okay, what kind of loot do these guys have? Nothing. And you? Nothing. Well, that's not great. Anyway, let's do a quick search of this upper building. Nothing there either. Okay. Now, I don't see any loot here. Oh, wait, there's some lockers. A dead civilian. Okay. Enviro Armor Mark II, I think it is. Medical supplies. The guy has a cattle prod. And some repair stuff. Alright. Now, I don't see what I'm looking for here. It must not be this building. Maybe it's this one. Okay. Now, pacification bot. Okay, there's what we're looking for. I'm calling them subjugators, but not actually what they are. Alright, it's now dead. We got our glorious leader down here. Oh, man. Damn it, didn't have anything on it. Usually these things have like 1,050 cal ammunition, but apparently that one doesn't. Okay. Um. Oh, come on. Run, Jax, run. You fool. I wanted you to run up and then over, not over then up. Oh, well. Well, that's not great, considering we have to reload the stream start save. Okay. How much 50 ammo do you even have left? 70 rounds? Not great. Okay. Hello, Ash. Come on, Alice. Stop screwing around and kill it. What are you doing? Go heal Alec. Alice. Okay. Now. Can you healing? What? Not much remaining 50 cal does to a person? Okay. Um, let's run you over to there, actually. Okay. That'll work, I suppose. Okay. Now. That everybody's more or less healed. Get everyone down here. Where is everyone else? Oh, you are crouched. No wonder it's taking you so long to get down here. Hmm. Okay, we don't really care about Farsight and Rebecca right now. I think everyone else is here. Well, that's deeply unfortunate. We got to lure those loaders into something a little bit more easy to deal with. Okay. Power Mark II is very useful stuff. And this isn't even that yet. Power Mark 1. Okay. Okay. Everybody's here. We're ready to set forth on a voyage of destruction. Well, everybody's here with the snipers, but they're sitting out of this for now. Yeah. Okay. Thought I healed you already. All right. You. Oh, he's bandaged. That's why he can't heal himself. Okay. Doctor, heal thyself. I'm really quite tired at this point because I woke up far too early. Like some kind of crazy person. And then I spent like a couple hours grinding fire making skill in old school before it was time for work. Ow, run away, run away. They're beating the shit out of them pretty effectively. Only one left. Anyway. I've been getting about 1,000,000 XP per day in fire making. Which means that I should be ready to get 99 by the end of the weekend, I think. Although, I might want to delay it a little bit so I can get some other levels up first for better rewards. For example, it might be worthwhile to get a higher fishing level first. Because then the fish we can get out of the reward pile will be of a rarer types and better quality. Alright, I don't think there was anything worth shooting until farther in. Okay, you take your little pew pew gun that is out of ammo. Who had the science skill? Rebecca. Okay, Rebecca, Farsight, I need you someplace else. I want to try to use science skill on this thing and see if anything happens. I'm going to guess the answer is no. but there's no way to know unless you try. Anyway, I think my oh yeah, fire making level is 94 and about halfway to 95 right now. So I've been zooming right through them, right along to those levels. Let's try to hit the pacification bot with some science, see what happens. Does nothing. All right. Figured that'd be the case, but it was maybe worth a try. Okay. Far side, you hit the switch. Okay, that was not ideal. That was also not ideal, but thankfully we have a save a little closer by than the previous times. All right, we do not need Farsight or Rebecca for this. Well, note to self, burst fire, big problem. What the? Okay. I see how it is. What's he? Oh, he's shooting at that. I don't really care about you shooting at that right now, buddy. Well, whatever. Okay. Let's see if we can poke her head out a little farther. Well, it would almost maybe be worth swapping armor around. No. No, I don't think so. We'll just have to just have to be a little more careful. Okay. Now, well, I think Jax is our highest energy weapons guy. First of all, we'll save here. Let's see who we can get from this position, and we'll move again. Just him? Okay. Hmm. Getting ready to run. He's take too much damage. That was not the button I wanted, but it will do for now. Oh, no wonder I can't find what I'm looking for. You. Okay. Got some healed. All right. Now, I think we've taken out most of the vets in this area. Obviously, not all of them. I'm kind of surprised there's nothing we can do to this classification bot. Apparently, there isn't, though. All right. Let's see, reload. Heal Jax. Of course, he's bandaged, so we have to waste doctor bag charges. We don't really have any of those. What do you mean you damaged 4 HP? Okay, full heal. We don't have very much ammo left. That's not good. But we'll shoot what we have. Okay. That was not ideal. That was not ideal. Thought I cleaned those bastards out. Looks like no. Okay. This doorway is very annoying. Go ahead and hit him up with Dr. Bag. Well, damn it. There's just too many heavy weapons around the corner. We have to get lucky. What is even the alternative? Okay. No, don't run out there. You fool. Okay. Ow, that was very unkind of you. Why is he randomly damaging them now? He's high enough, door kickers Fallout style? Not really. Door kickers has a very different, basic gameplay loop. I was about to move him deeper in. What in the world is going on here? Heal him. What are you doing? How can you screw it up that many times? Okay. That looked painful. Wait, how'd you get ordered to go out there? I know I didn't have you selected nor you to click. Oh, whatever. Can I trick a grenade over the fence? I could if I had anyone who's good with grenades, which I don't. Or if I had grenades, which I also don't have. Okay. Let's go ahead and move Alice out. Or not Alice, Brian. Okay, let's not move Brian out. There's Alice. What? Oh. Thought somebody over here was firing at her for a second through the wall. I was like, no, there's no way. There wasn't any way. It was just, I got puzzled. What are you even shooting at? Okay. Go ahead and load. Three. Come on, mouse. Stop it. Full heal. Damn it. Ah! We got to get relatively close to them. I hit the button to load. Load. I think what I'm going to do don't. I clicked right here to have him moved here instead of right there. Instead he stood right in the middle of, I don't know why I bother. Try and take these idiots out is not gonna work for shit. Okay, what I'm really looking for is hopefully with wait, why do you have 0% chance to hit? I did take a bunch of energy weapon skill. No, I didn't. Ooh, okay. Oops. I could have sworn we had energy weapon skill on that character. Okay. Now, not sure what to do here. Because if we try to line everybody up in that gap, they'll immediately get burst fired, and burst fired with more than one trooper in the area is a very bad idea. Because if the burst fire misses, it'll hit everybody else in the area. I guess if I can scrounge up enough stuff to get a heavy weapon running again. I might have to do a bunch of ammo consolidating or something. Alright, Brian, let's start moving you over here. You have nothing of any use to anyone. Alice, you don't actually have that much ammo. Okay. Um. Hmm. Oh, whoops, wrong person. Yeah. Alright. Where's Rebecca? Rebecca, come down there. Farsight, come over here. Moving, good. Yeah, let's go to Brian. Anything else seem vaguely useful? Kind of. Alright. Alice. I do hate Windows sometimes. It decided that I really wanted some stupid search prompt to pop up over top my game. Oh. So, I think what I'm going to try to do here is we'll try to get Alice to stand in a position where she can shoot it one at a time. Alternatively, I think we have enough stuff now that we can. I think we have enough stuff now that we can. Oh, we're gonna call it. All right, let's try Jacks from standoff distance. Okay. Oops. Well, that guy got Shrek. Unfortunately, so did a lot of our guys. But nobody died, so it can't have been that bad. Okay. Well, anyway, we can easily go around this area. Not really. Like, fun. See if we can get the snipers around somewhere where they can shoot them from across the road. And we'll start our backtracking. In the meantime, really need more power armor. Pathfinding is so bad. Oh, that's right. We gotta go. Oh. Ew. There's no way around that, is there? Nope. If we want to get down in here with our guys, we have to go through the junkyard. Well, it could be worse, I guess. So at this point, Shipstalker, we are fighting robots. And they're kind of RoboCop. We'll find out more about the lore from them as we go. They are actual robots, not cyborgs, but I think RoboCop was a cyborg. Okay, so we want to get around here somewhere. Okay, crouch please. Okay. I think we've got most of this area cleared out. Definitely not all of it. Ah, damn it. I was putting them prone so they wouldn't get shot right then. And it didn't work out. Well, that was not a useful plan, I don't think. Okay. Go ahead and save over that. And I guess we'll just keep hoping we get lucky for a little while. Because if we keep getting lucky here, we could. Okay. Come on, just give me a good burst. Button I wanted, I want the one beside it. I need a doctor bag. Come on. Wait. No. Alice. There we go. Somehow, yeah, I'm not entirely sure what was going on there. I'm really not entirely sure what was going on there. Wait. Okay. You get that. Okay. Go ahead and save. Oh, we can't even shoot that gun. Do we have any alternative guns? No, not on her. We have multiple people who have guns that don't have ammo. This is the problem. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. I don't really have anybody I can, like, Brian's out of ammo. Well, he hasn't quite. He's got some, I guess. We're gonna give that to Alice, though. Alice has a partial minigun full. Jax has a few more shots of plasma. And our glorious leader has nothing. Yeah, I don't know. Go ahead and save. Damn it, stop accidentally shooting things. Hope we didn't waste ammo. Finally. That was the last of them? I guess it was. Okay. Not entirely sure if I believe that. Alright. Well, that's amazing. Put Farside and Rebecca here in the exit grid. And then we will donate stuff to them while we run around the map and clean it all up. This is going to take about a year, at my guess. Okay. Okay. Put those guys over there, you over there. We don't want to accidentally leave the exit grid because we're in the wrong spot after all. Okay. Um, transfer all of that stuff to him. And then I guess we'll run around with Alice and grab everything we can grab. Which is that 50 cal. That'd be very handy. Oops. Those fusion cells are pretty useful. As is any 7.62 we can find. Did I loot these already? We'll worry about that when we get over there again. Also, how to cross that without having to go all the way out around might be useful eventually, but we'll see about that one as well. Where to leave you? Over there? We'll come down in here instead. Where all do I have stuff I need to loot anyway? I think I got these guys. I don't think there's anything down here. Okay, I take that back. There's some low lifters who may or may not have loot on them. It looks like the answer to that is may not. Okay. Now, and transfer everything. Do not press take all. And then we'll clean out the ones in this area, I guess, next. Oh. Yeah, that one's empty somehow. I expect the lifters to be empty, but not the humanoid ones. That one, nothing again. I think any of the load lifters have anything. Are you stuck? You sure act like you're stuck. Don't see anything. Alright. We've got some back here to loot, I guess. Sniper. That's only useful in as much to give us 7.62. Isn't there a body right on here? Alright. Next up, I think we gotta go through the junkyard. I don't think there's anything else that's readily accessible. Got to poke through. I kind of wish that corpses would expire if and only if you'd already checked them. So that I could check these dead robots and have them slowly disappear. What are you doing? Get over here. Not terribly useful. I thought there were several. We definitely gotta go down here and take out. There's another one. Two of them, actually. Okay. Whew. For a second there's like, how in the hell did you get outside the fence? But they didn't. They just look like it. Oh, come on. Your janky pathfinder doesn't have to ruin everything. Oh, okay. We can get out through here. I can't remember if there's any robots in there to clean up or not. I suspect there probably are plenty. There's a 716 and ammunition for same. Did I check off? Or I checked to make sure I looted that. Okay, fine. Forget it. If you aren't going to move up there when I click to tell you to go, as a bad pathfinding, then we'll just not. I think I already picked everything that room had to offer. Okay. Now. Oh. I really don't. Trying to remember where all the enemies are, and it's just kind of good luck with that one. I thought for sure there was an enemy back here, but I guess not. Okay, most of those civilians have nothing of any use on them. Um, there are some bots along this section. Okay. Okay. Couple more bots over here that need to be collected. Another M16. I think I already checked that one. Well, I had a Garand. Useless shop fodder, but suppose it's better than nothing. Okay, what all have we looted and what haven't we looted? I think we've looted most, if not all, of the junkyard. Looted that building. Looted the roads outside of it, except possibly, no, we looted that too. I think we've looted most everything. But there's like no way. There's got to be more enemies out here to loot. I don't know where they would have been. In any case, I suppose it really doesn't matter as long as we're not missing anything amazing. The janky pathfinding in this game makes everything about 10 times worse than it has to be because you have to kind of follow your unit along. You can't just scroll over your destination, click, and wait for the unit to arrive. I think we've got enough loot. I could try to run around and track down the last couple robots, but I'm pretty sure I've collected most of them already. Yeah. Let's get the hell out of here. Yep. Now we don't have to stop and shuffle everything into the Humvee with any real urgency. Okay. Great Bend is that pile, I think. Trying to figure out where the next random encounter tile is. It's not too terribly far away. Okay. So this tile is Bunker Delta. This tile's random encounter. And then random encounter tile is over here somewhere. No, that's Junction City. Random encounters are the green ones. So this random encounter, which we already know, and then Great Bend. There should be one right here. Oh, here we go. we have the four horsemen of the post-apocalypse. Here we have war, famine, death, and pestilence. And they keep standing around saying all kinds of dumb things. And we can't talk to them, so it's not like there's any real point doing anything there. Need your clothes, your boots, and your mood recycle. The B1000. Can't remember. I think let me just look this up real fast. Okay, B1000. Okay, yeah. I thought there was something special about this. It's not something special as in I want something particular out of here. But it is something special in that let me scroll around now. Anyway, if we killed him, we could get loot off him that normal Brahmin would not drop. But he only drops a Uzi, so I don't care about it. Why is scrolling broken all of a sudden? There we go. The Canadians People Front versus the People's Front of Canada. I don't think we can actually talk to these people. I don't think there's any loot here either. All right. Let's see what the last one we get in this tile is. We've got to be getting very close to seeing all the random encounters there are to see. So, I think this one's a Planescape reference, maybe. Well, let me look. Yeah, Floating Skull. This is a reference to the video game Planescape Torment. That's what I thought. I've never actually played it, nor do I intend to play it. But that would appear to be Mort. Yes, it would appear to be Mort, although who that is, well, your guess is as good as mine. Actually, you probably know. But I've never played that game, so. How many random encounters have I got already? Okay, we got 4, 5, 6, 10. Okay, 3. Wait, yeah. 10. 21. Okay. And then how many random encounters were there total? 30. Okay, we got a bunch to get yet. Where's another tile that's convenient? Okay, bunker, Great Bend. I think there's one. Go find out. Your Planescape is one of Chris Avalon's masterpieces when he was still writing for Obsidian. Well, whoever's writing for Obsidian nowadays apparently doesn't do that good of a job, but although if you ask me, Obsidian hasn't made a good game ever. Or at least not that I've played. For some reason, I just am not fond of Obsidian. Alright, let's go see what we can see. Oh. It's the Pip-Boy. Stop wandering, I'm trying to heal you, you little shit. Nope. Anyway, you can recruit him. But, oh yeah, we need to re-up Alice's stuff. Here. You go in there. Give that back to her as well. Okay. Good deal. So, old Pip-Boy is recruitable, but we're not going to recruit him. I don't think he's got anything special going for him that I care about. Okay. Weren't we just here? Yes, we were. Anyway. That's weird. We seem to have 2 copies of Pip-Boy now. Think Fallout New Vegas was the last project you did before you left? Fallout? Okay. I don't like Fallout New Vegas. And actually, to be perfectly honest, Fallout New Vegas is a large chunk of why I don't like Obsidian. I'm sure me not liking New Vegas would come as a massive shock to most people. Like, how could you? But do you think we can get 4 copies of it in every corner of this tile? The reason I don't like New Vegas is really simple. It's too much like a traditional RPG, but it is wearing a Bethesda RPG's skin like a it is neither fish nor fowl nor good red meat, shall we say. It looks like a Bethesda RPG. It kind of plays almost like a Bethesda RPG, but it's got a lot of trappings of a more traditional linear RPG strapped on top of it in a way that makes the whole thing very awkward. And then add to that the not so great level design, and I just don't like it. So, as an example, well, two great examples of things that I really don't like about it. One is invisible walls. Now, Fallout 3 has plenty of invisible walls. If you open up Fallout 3 in the GEC and start poking around, you will find plenty of colliders here and there to just prevent you from going someplace. However, those colliders tend to be placed in a way that you don't ever realize that there's a wall there unless you just happen to know it is there. Because usually they're not placed there to stop you from going some direction by themselves. They're placed there with some convincing looking geometry that looks like it would block you, even though it actually probably wouldn't. So, as an example, there's one particular area in the middle of town that has a dead end road. Town being DC, not actually like a town area. But anyway, where there's a pile of rubble blocking off this road, but the pile of rubble isn't really steep enough that you couldn't climb over it with enough creative effort. So to keep the player from doing that, they put a wall there. And they didn't make it perfectly vertical. They made it mostly vertical. So what happens is you go up to it and you try to climb this pile of rubble, and you just kind of get about so high up the pile and then you slide off without ever really realizing the reason you're sliding off is because there's an invisible wall there. It just looks like that's all the higher you can get up the pile of rubble before you can't get up anymore. Or, and this isn't so evident in Fallout 3, but it's more an Oblivion or Skyrim thing. There's, like, say, a chunk of hills that if you are dedicated enough to trying to climb, you can just make your way over top of it and have rather inconvenient shortcuts from one place to another. You just gotta wiggle just right and hop a little here, hop a little there, and next thing you know, you've gone over the ridge. Fallout New Vegas, pretty much every case where you might want to try to do something like that, there's a wall there, and they weren't subtle about it. For example, there's one ridge line I can think of where I managed to make my way to the top of the ridge line, got to the flat on top of the ridge, and then there's just a big old invisible wall right down the middle of the ridge line. Like, oh, you went through all the effort of climbing to the top of this thing? Well, guess what? Sucks to be you because you can't get across this. We're not going to let you. We have declared it impassable. And I don't like that. It's so crude. So that's complaint number one. Their love of invisible walls everywhere to keep you on the path that they want you on. And they weren't very good with actually making convincing level geometry when they needed to keep you in for one reason or another. And they were unwilling to let the player just go somewhere sometimes. You may only enter this region through the door we have allowed you to enter through, and if you don't like that, get stuffed. It's very traditional RPG way of thinking about things. And the other prominent example is the way the NPC companion storylines worked. All of, or maybe not all of, but certainly most of the companion storylines ran internally on a point system. If you had a certain companion with you, when a certain event happened, the scripts would check which companion you had with you, and if you had companion X, it would go add a certain value to this certain variable, and if you had companion Y, it would add a different value to a different variable, and so on down the line. And then once you had X number of points with whatever companion, you would be able to do their quest. The problem is, the only way you would ever know what you had to have your companion along for to get the quest unlocked would be pure blind luck. So it wasn't a matter of just take so-and-so and do enough adventuring with them. It was take so-and-so and go do enough specific adventures with them. Sometimes it depends on the companion. Sometimes if you did something that would cause them to gain points, they would have a special dialogue thing about it. They'd stop and talk to you about it. Which, that's kind of cool, I suppose. Other times, though, it was just silently incrementing a value in their quest scripts somewhere until it reaches a high enough number. And then they'd spontaneously go, oh, by the way. So if you knew what those breakpoints were, you could run around and hit all the right moments. Assuming that you hadn't hit them already. Because, once again, because they were specific set events, you could very easily have done all, or at least too many, of the events that were for that companion, and you just wouldn't be able to do their quest. which is very against the spirit of a way Bethesda RPGs work. Bethesda RPGs are very big on not much in the way of missable content. They well, Skyrim is an amazing example of this. There is missable content in Skyrim, but most people will be very hard pressed to name any of it. It tends to be little tiny. Oh, there's like 3 or 4 maybe that I can think of. Little tiny quest lines where it's like you can help somebody in some very minor way before you've done some other certain quest. But the number of circumstances where that applies is, but not, before but not after kind of thing. But the number of circumstances where that applies is absolutely minuscule. It's just not something that they have. And that's great because it means that you never have to worry about if you're going to screw up your ability to do something. You can pick things up, drop them whenever you like. It's extremely flexible. Anyway, we got 4 Pip Boys on there. I'm going to see if we can get more Pip Boys. Let's do a little bit of identification here. Okay. So we've got another mission that's going to pop up over here. Right there, I think. And I think right there is a special event file for it. I think. Or was it there or there? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't think we're going to go for that one. I think this right here is a special event tile. 2 tiles north of Kansas City. We'll go over there. Remember New Vegas just crashing constantly on you? Well, that too. It was buggy as hell. They were a little rushed with developments. They didn't have enough time to polish it. At least that's the official line. So you could probably blame bugginess on that. But also, they were using the Fallout 3 engine. The Fallout 3 engine was fairly stable. It certainly didn't crash nearly as much as New Vegas. So whatever code changes they made to it, yeah, they didn't really add that many possibilities as a thing. I don't know. I didn't really like much, if any, of the DLC for New Vegas. In particular, the big casino heist one, whatever the hell that one's called again. That one is just... And... Okay, we better stop before we get more Pip Boys. Why does it keep giving us Pip Boy? I'm going to look this up real quick. Let's see if we can find. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see any information about why I would keep generating the same encounter over and over again. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't like New Vegas. Is what it really comes down to, I guess. I have a whole bunch of what I view as very valid reasons for disliking it, and on the other hand, I really like Fallout 3 and to a much lesser extent Fallout 4. Fallout 4's story is not a shining example of everything a story can be, let's put it that way. Although you can really fix Fallout 4's story a lot by running an alternate start mod. There's a pretty good one that I used before that just removes all references to the main character being at all involved with the vault. So you can play all the quests and everything, just the dialogue is modified so that they're not a vault dweller. And more importantly, you can still play when you still play through the main quest, it's just some random event you encountered kind of thing. It's not your precious little kid. There we go, finally. Anyway. Alright, that should be enough ammo for now. Alright. I don't think I have. Actually, I do. I got a shit ton of this stuff. Okay. We'll keep him on using the plasma because it's actually not half bad as far as weapons go. Brian. Give you some 7.62. Alice. You need a few more rounds. Farsight, you're good. Oh, okay. Who needs stim packs? Everyone, really. Okay. No. Medical supplies. Oh. We'll grab like 5 of those. Couple of those. Good enough for who it's for. Grab everything we're going to sell. Okay. Good enough. We can probably save ourselves a lot of trouble if I just move a couple of the heavier items. Oh. Alice. Until we're no longer immobile. Okay. Okay. This is much safer than trying to drive the buggy over there for this relatively small amount of loot. If it was just New Vegas, then that would be the end of my complaints about Obsidian. But subsequent to that, I attempted to play Pillars of Eternity. And I cannot exactly articulate the entirety of why, but me and Pillars of Eternity did not get along. I did not enjoy anything about that game. More power armor. Oh, yes. That's what we're here for. And what else did I play by Obsidian that I just did not enjoy? There's something else too. Before I finally got the hint and was like, okay, that's enough of that. I think we're done here. I don't think there's anything else in here we can use. Alright. So who gets the power armor? Not Alice, because she already has high strength on her own. Probably Jax or Brian. Jax is currently using energy weapons. However, we'll give him the power armor for survivability reasons, I think. Okay. So extra chunky. Okay, levels. Okay. We don't really need crits. If bonus weighted rate of fire was still available, that's what we'd take 100%. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's anything that's too amazing in here. Let's see that useful. Bonus moved, is it useful? Oh. I don't really need more skill points on my level. What's Gunner get us? Oh, that's from vehicles. I don't care about that. I turbo don't care about here and now. That is the worst perk in every single Fallout game. There's no reason you'd ever want to take that. Sharpshooter might not be the worst thing in the world. Okay. I think you can only take one level of bonus rate of fire and 2 levels of bonus range damage. So we have the most critical things that I wanted done. So from this point forward, it's more if there's anything else that'll come up later. But I think we got most of the perks I was really worried about getting. Like weapon handling is no longer useful or even interesting. It depends on how large the influence is for team player, whether that's amazing or terrible. Perception's already pretty high in this character. We don't really need sharpshooter. Yeah, I don't know. I could take like gain endurance, help beef up a lower, or I could take gain agility. I don't think I care about any of those though. Like educated's just not that good. I mean, it's good, but I don't really need skill points. I have more stuff. I think better criticals or more criticals might be the way to go. I'm gonna go ahead and take better criticals. Crits are always good. And then pick a few more big guns. Okay. Bonus rate of fire, bonus range damage. We've got the main things we wanted on Jax, I think. Um, Kind of tempting. Strong back's not that useful because you can always leave somebody around as a loot carrier. Like strong back is amazing for a single player RPG where carrying stuff is useful. It's not so great for a squad game where you can leave one person stand around as a loot container and yeah. We could take gain perception. That would get our perception up to 8. Which affects our range, if I remember correctly. Hmm. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. Why not? Let's do that. Give him a little more range. Get that plasma to zap stuff further away. Okay, you. Um, I don't know what the requirements are for bonus rate of fire. Let's find out. Okay, bonus rate of fire. Fallout tactics. It requires level 9, 6 perception, 6 intelligence, and 7 agility. Okay. 5 perception. He's got the agility. And what was the other one? Intelligence 6, agility 7. Okay, so you'd have to have gain perception and gain intelligence to make that work. Or we'd have to mutate fast shot into gifted, which is not going to happen. Is it worth gaining both on both of those? Maybe. Let's go ahead and take gain perception for now. And we'll go ahead and take gain intelligence. And then the next time we level up, we can grab bonus rate of fire. Okay. That'll do. Now, Alice, what do you have? No perk points. Don't really care about any of those right now. Throwing, I don't care about at all. Okay. No perks. Don't really care about Farsight too much, so we're just going to go ahead and dump these into small guns. Okay. Um, do I want to waste points on getting lockpick up? Hmm. Probably worth sinking everything straight into small guns. Yeah. Okay, Jax, you're traps, aren't you? Yes, you are. Okay, we'll sink the rest of the points into that. Um, Brian is repair. We'll sink him and his points into that. Okay. That's everybody's leveling taken care of. I think I got everybody's inventory more or less taken care of as well. Okay. Now, we'll see the recruit master and see if there's anybody particularly cool there. Get back over here. Okay. What do we got here? Got a bunch of scruffy super mutants. Yeah. None of the things I want are here yet. There's only one character I actually want out of there, so. Okay. Pretty sure we've accomplished everything we wanted to accomplish here, except, well, except nothing. We're done here. All right. It would help if I had actually talked to what's his face about the next mission. Oops. All right, General. Where you at? There you are. Tell us about our next mission. Oh, this mission. Okay. Oh, armored escort, huh? Does that mean that we get the tank for this mission? I don't remember if we do or not. Anyway, so this mission, I think we do get the tank for this mission. What we definitely get is we get our first pulse weapon. And pulse weapons are pretty good against robots. They're energy weapons. They're kind of like the plasma in that they're relatively slow firing, not that accurate. But they really make robots reconsider their life choices. Well, no. There's a giant pile of Pip Boys. I do wish they would patch this game to fix this bug. Okay, do I do this at night? Sure, why not? Okay, ready to listen to this, so... Alright. There are 4 objectives scattered around that we have to go rescue. I don't remember whether any of them are at, but they're around. The map's not that large. All right. Well, before we get started in this mission properly, Go ahead and there we go. Save the game. He didn't want to cooperate for a bit. Before we do this, however, I am going to go close that door over there because it is freezing in here because somebody left the door open and all the warm air is drifting out that way. I have to go put a stop to that before I turn into an icicle. There. I have managed to stave off icicle creation for at least a little while longer. There's a dead reaver. Having power armor is really good. He's using Vindicator minigun. Get your ass back in there. Fix him up real quick. The Vindicator is the good one. Yeah. It's a pretty beefy robot. Could you stop missing so much? Yeah, there you go. Why is the game muted? It darn well better not be muted. It is muted. Why in the hell is that? And why did it take until now before someone mentioned it? Anyway. The game is no longer muted. Oh, I know why it was muted. I was using OBS earlier for virtual camera. And so I muted the desktop source so I wouldn't loop back Discord. And I must have forgot to fix that. Well, that's annoying. Oh well, it's not like game audio is that important, right? 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 I'll take all that because it might turn out to be useful to have a minigun on. I should probably carry said minigun. Well, I don't know if we have the weight capacity is the problem. Yeah, get wrecked. Alright, Scurry Bot, didn't have anything on him. Check the next level up. Okay, has a laser rifle. We should start getting our main characters energy weapons ability up some. Anyway, hello Sealoth, welcome here. I don't have the weight capacity to carry a minigun and ammo. Okay. Oh, there's a square bot. Where did it come from? And what are you shooting at? Oh, you're shooting at that square bot. Well, even though it is using up my precious 50, I suppose it's not too bad. Okay, scurry bots don't have any loot on them. Roger that. Okay. I looted that already, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. Nope. Actually, before you open that, let's check this guy. He has nothing. There's a robot there. Damn it. Because there was two of them. All right. Pretty reasonable. Now, what do you got on you? Random ass loot that I may or may not care about. Love how you magically know where every wall, piece of furniture, and rubble is at all times, so bodies require line of sight, maybe if you've seen them already. Yeah, that's how a lot of these older games worked, and even new ones, for that matter. For a long time, Jagged Alliance back in action. Which is not exactly a shining example of everything that a tactical game can be, but still. For a long time, it didn't hide enemies at all. And so you knew where all the enemies on the map were at all times. They didn't come out with a mode where enemies required line of sight until quite a while after release. Speaking of Jagged Alliance, I should play Jagged Alliance 2 again sometime. When will I ever find time to do that? That's a great question. Because that game is pretty fun. It had its share of issues, but it was pretty fun. Anyway, that's a future Milo problem. Scheduling is always a future Milo problem, thankfully. Okay, let's go see what this bot had. I really shouldn't be collecting loot as I go. I didn't see a tank on this map, so we might not get it here. For some reason, I kind of thought we would because of the mission description, but unless... No. Okay. Yeah. Almost everything seems to be a future Milo problem. In many ways, you are correct. Until eventually they become current Milo problems, I suppose. Oh. And when that terrible day arrives, well... Okay. Yeah, anyway. Oh wait, I forgot about this safe. I think out of all of the... Okay. I really, really, really enjoy squad-based tactic games. So, like this, like Jagged Alliance 2, Jagged Alliance 3. Did I say Jagged Alliance 2 earlier when I was... I think I did. I meant Jagged Alliance 3. Not so much Jagged Alliance 1. That's a little too primitive. The new comms. Not so much old XCOM. That's a little too old. It has some stuff going for it, but it's a little too... I don't know. Just a little too old. Oh. The first XCOM 1. First of the new comms. I should play that on stream someday too. Oh, Enemy Within. Amazing game. Far better than XCOM 2 in my opinion. XCOM 2 did some stuff I didn't like, basically. Although XCOM 2 is pretty good as well. Don't get me wrong, it's just that I much preferred XCOM, or Newcom 1, maybe we should say. It was more the kind of thing I liked. Especially when you throw in mechs and gene mods and all sorts of other insanity. But anyway. And then, what other fine examples of the genre can I think of? There's Jagged Alliance back in action, but that... It's pretty okay. I mostly liked it because it was real time with pause, and I like real time with pause. Silent Storm. Although I never really played that much of Silent Storm. For some reason I can never really get into it. It's not bad though. But of all the games of the type that I can think of, I think Door Kickers is my favorite. It's real time with pause, which I really like. It doesn't have any weird rules around explosives. Grenades are grenades. You have a number of them, and you can use as many of them as you feel like. Unlike, there's plenty of examples that treat grenades weird. I'm just not thinking of any really good ones off the top of my head. You don't have a ton of just crap equipment with a few good options. You've got a bunch of good equipment with various trade-offs. Okay, we could go out the back door here. If I wanted to, which I don't. Oh, you can blow through walls and stuff if you want. Which you could do that in Jagged Alliance 2. But not too terribly many other options that I can think of. Jagged Alliance 3 had special sections of wall you could blow through. Or Jagged Alliance Back in Action did. I forget what 3 had for that. When it comes to turn-based, Jagged Alliance 2 1.13 mod is pretty hard to beat. But real time with pause is by far my favorite. Okay, let's go ahead and save our game right here. And then Jax, you go there. And then put our glorious hero across the road. Okay, we took a bit of damage, but that was expected. That's why we have medical supplies. Okay. That one had a plasma. Well, that wasn't very nice of you. Locked, huh? Okay. Alright, well, Rebecca. Get up here with your lockpicking kit. And don't dawdle. I think one of the main things I like about door kickers is that, well, it's just a really good game as far as mechanics, but also it is, it does nothing. Okay. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and have Jax check this door for traps. Okay. Looks like the first of the alders is in here.
I am Glenda Close, first doctor of the movement. I'm honored to meet your acquaintance, beautiful one. I apologize for my words, but you seem an incandescent angel in a time shadowed with
whatever
darkness.
you say, lady.
I can feel your energy pulsating within me like an out-of-phase inductor. Lead me to safety while my feet still obey my brain's electro commands. You must have been sent by his capacitance. I welcome your gift, Holy One.
Okay. Whatever you say, crazy lady. It's got an AUG, a medical pack. All right. Now, good-natured, educated, swift learner, small guns, first aid, doctor. Not the worst person ever. We're not recruiting him anyway. I'm just checking for the Nova. Alright. Let's save our game here. And then we'll have these two fools run back to the, what I'm pretty sure is the exit point here. Namely there. And then we should just be able to leave them behind.
You've brought me to this safe
Okay.
haven,
That is
and
where
for
we need to
that,
go.
I thank you. I don't know how to begin explaining this passionate energy between us, except to tell you, I love you. And if you search your soul, you'll find that you possess the same love for me. The differences of our backgrounds and various communicable diseases will be difficult problems to overcome, but with us working together, Satan Soft himself could not bar our way. I'll wait for you inside your quarters, back at your main base. Take care, my love.
Crazy lady alert! Crazy lady alert! Beware. Crazy female in vicinity. Rebecca, I am going to want your lockpicking abilities, so you can come along with us, please. Thank you. See if we can open that door. Does nothing. Locked. Well, that's an obvious lie. Alright, let's go down to this and see if that door opens. Because it'll take us to the same area, just out of a different room. Okay. It does work. Oh, hello, tank bot. Let's use the gun with the cheap ammo. Not the super expensive one. Where'd it go? Okay. Uh-oh. Where the hell is that thing? There was a rocket shooting robot in there. But it was like he was embedded in the wall or something. Very weird. Very what, eh? Okay. That little bastard's taken care of. Alright, where'd Tank Bot go? There he is. Okay, Parasite, how much HP does he have left? 12. Yeah. Well, that's the anti-tank bot. Okay. Oh, there's an opening here. That's why they were... Okay. Let's check these guys. Ow. Bastard. Nothing there. Let's check the hoverbot. It's also empty. Okay, so it looks like the hoverbots don't have anything even if they have rockets to fire. Unless they just happen to run out of... Unless they just happen to run out of rockets, which seems unlikely. Check that security bot. 9mm ammo. Speaking of 9mm. Oh, here. Let's get that repaired. I can't wait until there's a 9mm version of the Hitchhiker. I love weird 22s. But 9mm is also fun. Okay. Now. Oh, there's the tank. I was about to say we should pick somebody to start dumping loot on and stick him back there in that area, but... Why do that when you can use the tank as a stuff storage? Okay. Can we not drive said tank? Weird. Okay, we're not allowed to drive the tank. Unless it needs repairing. Which is entirely possible, because they do stop moving if their repair is too low. Who was learning to repair? Was it Brian? Looks like it. Okay, Brian. Get your mechanic-y ass over here. I think we have a repair kit in the tank. Yes, yes we do. Okay. Already repaired. Well, pardon me if I don't believe it. Yeah, there we go. Tank was repaired for 161 points of damage. Okay. We has tank. More importantly, we have a place to dump loot. Means we can quite happily loot as we go. Yay! Farsight, can you move? That was weird. Alright, well, anyway. Where do we go next? Big question. This building's been cleared as far as I can tell. This building's been cleared. I guess we just kind of continue on down. Over through here, maybe? Yeah. I think I already checked tank bot for loot, but if not, we'll double check it. Alright. There's got to be one in this set of buildings here. Okay. This is the obvious entrance over there. Ow. Bad. Yeah, whatever. Just let me load the game already. And of course, when that happens, the stupid game has to be restarted because your cursor dies. You know what? Yeah, well, we have to kill the game because the cursor's dead, and then we have to go kill the game in the task manager because it doesn't exit for a while. Has to think about it for a bit first. There you are. End task, please. All right. Okay. The big boy bot has not yet been solved. Okay. Okay, now it has. There's at least one map in the game where if you destroy this, where if you destroy a tank bot in the wrong spot, you can soft lock it, if I remember correctly. I don't remember which map it is or how you exactly where you have to kill it, but I'm pretty sure that was the case. Anyway. Fire back, you fool. Okay. Let's go ahead. There we go. All right. Oh yeah, that's right. We need to go repair the tank. Because it didn't save after that. Who are you? Brian? Okay, cool. You're exactly who we need for this. Let's go repair that tank. They don't wanna. That's bad. Pathfinding is bad. Who knew? Okay. So when I went to the gun store today to pick up that rifle, there was another guy there. And guess what he was doing? He was getting his gun cleaned. I can't imagine taking your gun to the local gun store to get it cleaned. Like, seriously? What would ever inspire someone to do that? But anyway. Although every time I buy a gun, I am reminded that some people appear to recognize cleaning it as an advanced skill that is far beyond their ability. It isn't bad pathfinding, it's classic. I don't know about that one, Sealith. There's some old games with pretty good pathfinding. And then there's some new games that are not so good, shall we say. that may exhibit some issues. Occasionally. Alright, so we've gotten the tank. We've offloaded most of our unimportant inventory. And it is 10:18. So I think I'm going to save the game here before anything else can go wrong. And we'll continue this next week. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Particularly because I am very tired. And I could do with some sleep. Sleep sounds good. Anyway. Tomorrow, I do believe, is Friday. And that means that assuming everyone else can make it, EDF. I don't remember where we were in our current campaign, but there's definitely a good chunk of it left before we're done with our first loop, or first run through. And then, of course, Saturday and Sunday will be door kickers this week, I think. Simply because I want to play a lot of door kickers, and that just sounds like a really great weekend. We'll probably only have one weekend of door kickers, though. After that, we might play it on like midweek days or something for a little while at least, until I run out of missions to do. Although that is impossible because it actually has multiple randomly generated modes now. It always did have a random map generator, but now it has randomly generated campaigns with randomly generated maps. It actually does a surprisingly good job of them from what I've seen. But that is for later. For tonight, let's see. Is anyone doing anything? Nope. Okay. Didn't really expect that they would, but you never know. Hopefully I see you all back here tomorrow for good old EDF shenaniganeries. And I will see you all later. Good night. And goodbye.